How's it? Today is Monday, October 2nd, and just as expected for my training, tis getting real. Today's a snatch day with front squats, and it was pretty challenging. There were a lot of things that I wish I kind of did a little bit differently as far as execution on my movement. I was not as crisp as I had hoped to be. There are things that I could do better every day, but today I just didn't feel like I was there. Before I even got through like half of the training, I felt pretty lightheaded when I was sitting down for resting. Didn't feel like I was lightheaded after too many of the lifts. There were some that I did feel like, oh, dude, I probably should sit down, but it felt like I was just not present, like lightheaded, and I feel like I lacked a lot of motivation that I normally have. I don't have a lot of motivation, I'd say. I'm really consistent on showing up because I feel like I can work hard, but today it felt like I didn't know if I wanted to move on with the next set every set. Yeah, I mean, my warm-ups were kind of weird. Look at that. I think that when I'm trying to be, I guess, in the volume phase, I need to be more strict on my technique. Because some of the reps today were just not good. Like, if you look at it as a whole, I think today was pretty good. I didn't miss any lifts, but if you kind of zoom in to individual lifts, there are some things that I don't normally do. And I don't like feeling like that. This is my last set here. Last warm-up, sorry. 70. So I did 4 sets of 3 at 80 today, and then 1 set of 3 at 85, which is 5 kilos up from last week for all of those sets. And for the most part, I think my first reps are pretty good. I think my elbows are a lot later than I want them to be. Maybe that's the issue. So sometimes when I pull myself under for the second reps, it feels like I'm out of position. And maybe I'm not. I don't know. I didn't really watch any of the reps when it happened in the gym. I just wanted to correct how it felt for the next set. And then I guess as it goes, I think my first reps are always better than the rest. My third rep, it feels like I am concentrating and focusing more on getting back to the basics of how my technique should work. So that one's a little bit better than the second rep. And my second reps feel just like I'm going through the motions. It's not one of those things where I'm focusing on my technique to execute the movement. It's more of, okay, this is my second one. I just need to do it. And then whatever comes out is what comes out. And some of them are okay, but a lot of them I was just not super happy with. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like I think that during the volume, I need to be much more intentional on hitting positions and executing the movement. Maybe the second ones are okay. I don't know. I watched that one just now. That one was alright. There are things I'm looking at are like probably like if the bar loops out in front of me and if I have to kind of push my upper body on the way down into the receiving position a little bit forward, which results in a more horizontal bar path, and I don't like that. I don't think that is how I lift when I'm lifting well, and I think that like the bar path is really, really important. Like that here, that first rep, that was the first rep. So everything I just said earlier, take it with a grain of salt. This is just how I remember the training session. Maybe the second ones are good. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Not to say that I did know anything at the beginning, but it's been a long day. It's also worth noting that yesterday I went bowling with Becco, and my right forearm is completely destroyed. It's really, really difficult squeezing. and I was debating on whether or not I should use straps today for lifting, but I don't normally use this, or haven't used the straps um, lately, so I was just like, okay, I'll just try my best to not do it, not use the straps, I guess. Um, as far as it goes, this is my last set, my fifth set of 3 at 85, which programming wise is next week's weight. It's also going to be the weight that I snatch 5 singles at on Friday. Ooh, look at that. I thought I was going to miss that rep after I did the second rep. And I am pretty exhausted at this point. And then these folding snatch pulls, try my best to just extend with my knees and my hips, not so much with my ankles. If I get ankle dorsiflexion, I feel like positionally you can always get ankle dorsiflexion. People regularly calf raise 500 plus pounds with no issue, but those same people probably cannot deadlift 500 pounds to the same success rate. So if I can focus more on my knee extension and hip extension, which is the primary mover of the weightlifting movements, then I think that it will be better and carry over a little bit more. I often am unable to get full extension at heavier weights because lots of things, but I think I've just not practiced enough. Here's my third set. And then after that, I moved into front squats. So 3 sets of 5, which is so much volume. And I was super lightheaded. I didn't know if I wanted to even finish the training session today. I don't feel like that very often. There have been times in the past where I continue to lift all the way through despite how I'm feeling, and then the next day I'm like sick. That's not how it felt today. Today it felt like I just was not mentally present, but also because I was physically feeling poor. I don't know. It's a weird feeling that I have really not felt before. My front squats today are at 115, which ordinarily are pretty light, but I think today took a lot out of me. Watch this second rep. I think this is the one. Yeah, I hit the bottom and then my upper back started to round over, and then I was just like, uh-oh. I don't know if this is going to be good. I was able to finish them all out, and I didn't fail, so that's the positive perspective I'm looking at right now. 115 is 5 kilos up from last week. Last week was super easy. Last week I just banged them all out. I think I didn't even pause between the reps, so whew. Damn, I'm struggling. And then after that, I normally do my pull-ups and then my GHD sit-ups, but actually when the beginning of this kind of training block started, Steve was saying that I don't necessarily need to do the pull-ups or the sit-ups just because of how much volume I'm doing. So given how I felt, how badly I felt, I didn't do any pull-ups, and I only did 1 set of GHD sit-ups. And I think for me, these sit-ups are important to maintain my core stability, because my lower back issues, they're not gone. I didn't fix it completely. I still have to do the McGill Big 3. I still have to do my hip mobility in the beginning. And I think that it's good to continue doing that moving forward, but I want to make sure that I maintain my core strength. So even just the 1 set's, it's sufficient for today. But that's it for today. I'm excited for Wednesday. Thank you for watching. Shoots.